We are recording.
Heck yeah.
Sitting here in the studio alongside fashion icon Seth.
Yeah. Yeah. I am a fashion icon.
I want to push that.
Yeah.
Fashion icon.
I think I am a fashion icon.
I do too.
I mean, I wear a lot of stupid shit.
Yeah.
That kind of makes you a fashion icon nowadays.
Hoodies and basketball shorts, pretty popular.
Yeah.
And I've only mostly seen you wear it, so everybody must be getting Hey Dudes.
And Hey Dudes.
I don't even know what that is.
It's like a boat shoe kind of thing. You'd like them.
Oh.
You'd like them.
Yeah.
You would.
I've always had the Sperry kind of things.
No, these are cheaper, I think.
Oh, are they?
Yeah. Yeah, take a look at the ground. They're dirty.
I see.
Yeah.
Kind of a knit kind of thing.
Yeah. They're a hipster shoe, but I like them. I like them.
And you are nothing like a hipster.
No.
Not even close.
Not even a little bit. Yeah, no. Yeah. But yeah, I think I like to consider myself a fashion icon.
I do.
I mean, I wear flannels and basketball shorts and, kind of like a country athletic look. That's what I like to.
Country athletic. Country athleisure.
Athleisure, yes.
That is.
Yeah, that's my kind of wear, man.
I friggin' like it. I think we need to start pushing that.
Carhartts and shorts and Carhartts and sweats, man. I like to wear sweats and boots. It's
sweats and boots.
It's country
I like
athletic.
to wear basketball shoots and cowboys.
Yeah, icon.
Fashion.
I mean, I get made fun of a lot for my clothes, but
you shouldn't.
No, I mean,
Well, you know what? First one through the door always gets his nose bloodied.
Yeah, I mean,
that's just the way it is.
Good thing I'm wide enough to take the grief. Take the hits. Take the hits, man. Got thick skin.
Yeah. Shit, man. A whole lot has happened.
Yeah.
Since we last spoke.
Yeah. One, there was the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Which was awesome in itself.
Which the game might not even be the most interesting thing that's happened in the last week. Really not.
No. We can talk about the game first, and then kind of, since it was the beginning of the week.
Other weird shit.
Yeah. So obviously, just a complete and utter beatdown from the Buccaneers to the Chiefs. I think you called it best last week with the offensive line troubles that KC was having. Obviously, that made a huge impact.
Kind of a big problem.
Even Patty Mahomes and his magic ways couldn't overcome the pass rush that Tampa Bay was giving them.
I want to even say that during some point in the show, I made an argument that Tampa Bay should be favored in the game.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean...
Yeah, you know what you're talking about.
I know football.
Yeah, pretty much. When you can't block, that's like half of football. Blocking and tackling are, some say, the two main things of football. So,
well, one of the things too of for sure stop sending 5 guys out.
Yeah,
maybe keep one of them in.
I absolutely loved Todd Bowles' strategy. We're gonna double team Hill and Kelsey. One of you other fuckers beat us because we're not letting your two best players beat us. I loved it.
And I mean, Kelsey was dropping passes.
Oh yeah. You could tell he was frustrated because of the double teams, man. I mean, he's not used to getting double teams, and he's not used to having anybody within 5 feet of him. He's the type of tight end that finds the hole in the zone, he catches it, and runs for 10 yards afterwards.
I think my biggest problem with Kansas City is just the relying on
those
Patrick
two guys.
Mahomes and those two guys.
Yeah.
Of the fact of, hey, they're playing a two deep shell.
Yeah.
Maybe run the ball a little bit.
A little bit. Because the guy you have is not bad.
No,
he's not bad.
No.
The rookie. And then his backup, actually is pretty good too.
I have 2 of them.
Yeah.
I just didn't understand. Never even tried.
No.
Never
tried to run the football. Never tried to establish.
Their first, was it 13?
Something like that.
Of like,
dude, he's making you run the football.
Can you see the 2 safeties back there?
Yeah.
They're not going to, and then they never threw any short passes.
No, it was all deep shit.
It was all deep stuff.
Yeah. I don't know. It almost looked like they were shocked that they came out and run that, and they just were like, we're just going to keep doing what we do. Like, you didn't try to adjust.
We're better than...
Yeah, we're better than that, which I get it. You've been better than that all year, but they've already played you once.
Yeah.
They know what you do. They're not idiots. You have lots of football knowledge over there. I mean...
Yeah, I just didn't understand that. I mean, because the game wasn't out of hand.
No.
The whole first half, hell, at the beginning of the second half...
Yeah.
They're running for like 6 yards a clip.
Yeah, exactly.
Of like, Yeah, maybe you should have been doing that.
Yeah. And then, we talk about the Buccaneers defense showing out. I mean, just coming out and playing their asses off and doing that. But hell, the fucking Buccaneers offense just bullied the Chiefs defense. I mean, they were gashing them running. They were able to, like, the time of possession was crazy. You know what I mean? Like, they had the ball. They were able to have success running the football. They were, it helps when you have two pretty decent running backs, too. A little two-headed monster going on with those two guys.
And it's not like, because Brady didn't do anything crazy.
No.
He threw for like
200 yards.
Yeah.
He had 3 touchdowns, but
it was just they were always in control. After the first couple series, it was like,
okay,
all right, they kind of have this now.
Yeah, he's figured it out. He's, I loved the shit talking going on. I loved that. That was great. Between him and Matthew, I loved it. It was great.
The fact of Tom Brady at his age with it running him down
to tell him something. I mean,
and then Matthew saying something like, he said something. He called me something that
I don't want to repeat.
And I think everybody jumped to the racist thing.
Yeah.
I'm guessing he called him a little bitch.
I'm assuming bitch
is going to be the.
I think he would have said if he would have called him the racist thing.
Yeah,
because
that would have came out.
That would have came out. Somebody would have heard. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think Brady would do that. I don't think that's the kind of guy he is. But he would for sure call him a little bitch.
Yeah,
you gonna fucking do something, you little bitch. Something of that nature. But
yeah, that was. I love that stuff.
Yeah,
and the Antoine Winfield at the end.
Giving him the peace
and then
sign.
getting flagged.
Yeah, I was like fucking worth it.
And then Tony Romo being like he was just going, oh, that's not how the game's played. It's not. It's like, Tony, shut up.
Tony. You know what? That was the only. Now I like Romo calling the games. I thought he didn't try to do above and beyond.
Right.
I thought he was doing what everybody liked him to do when he first started calling games. Is here's what they're lining up with. This is what you could see, kind of deal. Not necessarily like actually like telling us, like a Booger McFarland telling us exactly what play that's going to come and after it's already done.
Yeah.
But he was so against Tom Brady winning. Like, he had nothing good to say. He kept mentioning that the refs were helping them out. Like, did you notice that?
Yeah.
I was like, okay, that's these questionable calls. I'm like, well, everybody bitched about the pass interference. They're like, oh, he couldn't catch it because they fucking tackled him.
Yeah.
That's why it was uncatchable, because they were holding him.
Yeah. The one, the pass interference on Mike Evans, he's like, I don't know. That's a.
Yeah.
You probably shouldn't call that.
It's a no call.
Well, the guy tripped, fell down, and hit his foot, and then Evans tripped.
Yeah.
He says, well, I think it was uncatchable.
Because he tripped him.
It was maybe you think he couldn't have got 2 more steps in?
Yeah, exactly.
Because that's about what it was. And he's also Mike Evans. So it's one of those, I don't know. I don't like Romo anymore. I think he kind of.
I gave him the benefit of the doubt.
Well, I think he went to the point of, they paid me $17 million a year, so
I can do what I want.
Obviously, I'm the greatest
best ever. Yeah.
Of he just, hey, man, sometimes just let the play happen.
Exactly. You don't have to say in-depth stuff. Just let it go, man.
And then that, you can see he didn't go real hard on the punter when he shanked that one.
Yeah. But
because if he did, everybody's going to say, yeah, like a holder.
Yeah,
dropping bobbling one to get to the playoffs. And
dumbass. Yeah, he kind of rubbed me the wrong way at the calling the Super Bowl like that, blaming the ref. I'm like, no announcer blames the refs.
No.
It just, everybody disagrees with the call, but they don't strictly come out and say that the refs are making an impact on this game.
Well, and that's the whole thing. I mean, were they touchy calls? Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Were they penalties?
For sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it is.
Yeah.
But, and that, they made the point, I think somebody did say that, of like, hey, that's just how, that's how Kansas City plays. They hold you.
Uh-huh.
So.
Yeah, they've had, I think they were one of the most penalized defenses in the league. Yeah. If I, remember correctly, them talking about that. But, you can't control it. That's not an excuse. You can still change things offensively to keep the ball in your hands instead of having 3 and outs,
Right. Well, that's the one thing, too, of like with the Mahomes thing, is how crazy would it have went? He's running for his life. His completions where he was just throwing the ball away was phenomenal. Some of the best work I've ever seen.
So cool.
But if that guy doesn't drop the one where he's horizontal and he hit him in the face, if he catches that for a touchdown.
Yeah. That's the greatest play in Super Bowl history.
Kind
Almost
of brings them back into the game. But that's all that would be talked about is, oh my God, he made that pass.
Yeah, I love just catching some of the sound bites from like the Buccaneers players.
Yeah.
They're like, oh my God, he's unbelievable.
He's a magician.
He's a magician.
This
is cool as shit. You know, he is magical the way he can do that, the way he can torque his body. You know, when he gets older, that's probably not going to be there because, you know, because you just can't do that when you're older.
There's another guy that's kind of talking about how that goes.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's not happy with it either.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just love the whole way that just played out right there. That was perfect.
Thank you. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but other than that, I mean, the game, I mean, it really wasn't a good game.
No,
I mean, it was
wasn't.
a blowout.
It was fun. Me and some buddies had this conversation the day after. You know, I don't think Brady winning that game with the Bucs was anything that made him more of the best player ever than before.
No.
You know what I mean?
No, it's if you were having questions, how would that game have changed it for you? I don't, you know, and a lot of people say, well, this makes him the best ever. Like, I think he already was. I don't know how he wasn't.
Yeah, I don't get that either. And people who are like, oh, you know, this is his greatest legacy, winning it with another team. I'm like, no, that's what you want it to be.
Yeah.
I'm like, he won 6 with the Patriots, and you can argue some of those were harder than the one he just played.
Yeah.
You know, a tougher game than what he just played.
Now.
Oh, yeah. But
I don't remember what we were talking
about Brady and legacy. And
oh, yeah.
I just don't think that game dictates his legacy. I mean, if he loses, he's still the greatest ever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's where I was at. And you know, my buddies were like, oh, he has a stacked team. I'm like, he had 2 good receivers. You know, I wouldn't say his team was stacked.
Okay. Now, if that's what they're going to say, if Patrick Mahomes wins, would they have said the same thing? He has a stacked team?
I don't know. I mean, we didn't. I didn't ask that
because what's the difference?
Yeah, I mean, one of the guys was like, well, I was like, well, you add Fournette, you add Gronk, you add Antonio Brown, and he was like, well, they had Scotty Miller and O.J. Howard. I said, yeah, but it's not the same. The defensive coordinator is going to give Antonio Brown and Gronk way more respect than those 2 other guys.
And I don't believe Scotty Miller even caught a ball in the Super Bowl.
No, and O.J. Howard was hurt. I think he was just saying that before they added those 2.
But that's a funny thing.
Yeah.
You didn't even know who Scotty Miller was.
Exactly.
Until Tom Brady got there. He's like, oh, fast white guy?
Yeah, that's my cup of tea.
It's kind of my shit. Yeah. I mean.
So, and I think, Tom, I think, won that Super Bowl differently than other Super Bowls.
Yeah.
They had a nice run game. I mean, they were pounding the ball. I mean, I know typically he when they run the ball, they do a lot of swing passes. When he was in New England, they didn't necessarily line up and, run off tackle and stuff like that. But he had 2 backs that run off tackle. That's what they're good at. So, I think he won it differently. I think, if he can find ways to win Super Bowls differently, he's going to keep winning them because he doesn't have to always do it on his arm.
No. Well, that's just so many different options.
Exactly.
Because obviously, he already said he's coming back. And I think Gronk said he's coming back too.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why you wouldn't.
Why they wouldn't be the favorite, yeah. Win it again.
Yeah, why is Kansas City the favorite? Because obviously.
Yeah.
We're not going to. We'll just say one thing. Obviously, maybe Kansas City had a little different on their mind since his son almost fucking killed somebody.
Yeah, for being a drunk driver. He got fired.
Well, yeah, but he didn't.
No, but
his contract was up and they didn't renew it, so he didn't really get fired.
Yeah.
So
how about that? Though, you have to fire your kid.
Yeah,
I mean, you know what I mean.
But that driving drunk 2 days before the Super Bowl, and I don't even know if that. I assume that little girl is still in the hospital. So
I haven't heard anything else. I mean,
that
idiot. Idiot. That's the only thing you can say is idiot.
You're
just
an idiot. For sure. You're a coach. There's people everywhere that will give you if you're, there's no reason to be driving drunk.
No, not at all.
Not
at all. No, it's ridiculous. And your last name is Reed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you.
Also, not the first time he did this.
No, I read somewhere like that where it's not the first DUI or whatever.
So basically, he's a loser.
Yeah.
And his dad's been keeping him around.
Pretty much.
Trying to keep an eye on him, probably.
Yeah.
Which maybe is his game wasn't on there, and that's why he decided not to run the ball.
Could be. Yeah.
So we'll just keep passing it.
Yeah.
It's got to work. I love that stat, too, of like leading into the game where they're like, Andy Reid never loses a game off 2 weeks. It's like, well, except that Super Bowl that he lost
to the Patriots.
So,
yeah, never does. But that one time, yeah.
Except that one that was that big game.
Yeah, yeah. Jeez,
that was just. I don't remember whose take that was, but I do love the tweet after Antonio Brown makes that catch.
Yeah.
Of there's 3 touchdowns in the game and all of them by Patriots.
Yeah.
Of like, yeah, there you go, Bill.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that's my favorite part of it is all the Bill Belichick stuff. It's like, well, Bill's still the greatest coach. It's, they're having a little bit of a talent problem. It's like, well, you don't get to say that because he also is that.
Yeah, exactly.
But they kind of graze over that.
He's personnel and everything. I mean,
and I think you see what Tom Brady's legacy is. Bill Belichick, you have the Patriot way, but the way they kept those teams together was Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Because you just seen it when Mike Evans says, I'll rework my contract so we can keep people here.
Yep.
That's what Tom Brady does.
I think Rex Ryan said it, and I hate to give the guy credit, but he said people never went to New England to play for Bill Belichick. He's like, they went there to play with Tom Brady.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was a dig at Bill Belichick or it was like a thing of like, that's why they're not getting the same people that they can get going there because there's not Tom Brady there anymore.
Yeah.
You talk about the Patriot way can be looked at 2 different things. It can be looked at as a culture, as a way to do things, and that could be Bill Belichick. But the Patriot way is also what you said with Tom Brady being. Tom Brady took pay cuts to keep people there too, so they could win,
and other people took less money to be there.
So that's also a Patriot way in the fact that you're unselfish. You're there to win. There's no other way to put it.
And that's now. Do you not like Rex Ryan as a football coach, or is what he says? Because I think he says some funny stuff.
He says some funny stuff. I think he was an excellent coordinator.
Absolutely.
Wonderful coordinator. Him as a head coach, I think he was trying to, they called him a player's coach. At some point in time, you have to be able to do both sides of it. You got to be the boss. And I think, like I remember the one where the linebacker just fucking knocked out Geno Smith and broke his jaw. Yeah. Like that seems like he'd be okay with that. You know what I mean? Like I don't think he was like super upset that the guy did that. You know what I mean?
I get what you're saying. That's the proper personality for a coordinator.
Yes.
But maybe not a head coach.
Not a head coach. Yeah. And I look at it, then even
all that
at
foot fetish stuff came out.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I look at it as even in high school, you've never, how many players when you were playing a sport in high school that you absolutely just loved your head coach. You know what I mean?
Right.
You love the assistants because they could be your buddy.
Right.
The head coach had to step in and be a prick. But you could always go to an assistant coach and be like, and talk shit or get your feelings out. And I feel like he wanted to do that as a head coach, but wasn't able to be the strict guy that you have to be sometimes.
I think it's at the beginning of the season. I can't even remember who the player was that did something. Whatever Greeny's show or whatever that get up. Mm-hmm. And Rex Ryan says, that guy's just a turd. The fact that he called him a turd, because most people don't know that terminology if you're not in football.
Yeah, exactly.
He's not saying turd like we would have. That's what football players were. Yeah. Guys who have talent, who won't do the work, are called turds in the locker room.
Exactly. He wasn't calling him a piece of shit.
He goes, hey, he's just a turd.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that got taken the wrong way because I think people were saying that he called him a piece of shit. Goes, no, basically he called him lazy.
Lazy, yeah, exactly. A lot of talent, just not using it. Yeah, he's lazy as hell. Yeah.
But, there's a little Rex Ryan for you. Yeah, I like him on stuff.
I do too. I like what he says.
Like he doesn't really have a filter.
Uh-huh. And I'm surprised ESPN keeps him around because he doesn't have a filter.
I feel like they should put him on like ESPN Plus stuff.
Yeah.
Where the FCC's not involved and just let him go.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's always what ESPN's missing is they don't have enough. Just let them go. Because even their stuff that they have as podcasts and stuff, it's still very
censored.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you just kind of got to let them go.
Yeah, let them do their thing because that's what people want to hear. They want to hear the raw stuff. They don't want to hear you
like when they signed that Van Talk from Barstool to do a show, and then that girl got him shut down, got him fired. Of like, everybody's like, well, Barstool's done. It's like, no. ESPN needed them. They don't need ESPN.
No, they're doing just fine.
They're getting more viewership than ESPN gets.
Yeah.
And it's not even close.
Not even close. Not even a little bit.
And I don't even really listen. Like, I follow Barstool's content.
Yeah.
I don't really listen to any of their podcasts.
Me either.
But like clips and stuff, I'll listen to.
The 1 minute guy always gets me.
Yeah.
I like him.
But they always have some funny takes on stuff.
Yeah.
Which is what I enjoy.
Yeah. I don't need to listen to your hour, but if you got a 5-10 minute segment on something that's funny, I'll give her a listen, you know?
Yeah. I like that stuff.
Yeah.
The good takes, well, okay, great. Let's move this back around to Tom Brady as far as, I think what he's done as far as his legacy is he just changed the game because you're starting to see it now.
Oh, yeah.
Of guys going, no, he kind of puts his foot down and shit happens.
Yeah.
Of like, that came when he went there, they said, well, Antonio Brown's going to Tampa. And then Arians is like, no.
Yeah.
No. And it's like, well, what do you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Tom Brady likes him. He's there. Gronk's there.
Yeah.
And I think you're starting to see that. And obviously the Russell Wilson news we'll get into here in a little bit. And stuff like that. But I think you're starting to see quarterbacks going, oh, wait.
Yeah.
This whole game is about getting one of me. I'm here.
Yep.
You're going to fucking listen.
Yep. Or if not, I'm only here for a year. I'll play out my and I'll go somewhere else who's going to listen, the fact, so we talk about Gronk coming back. Did you ever hear the story about his off-season workouts?
I love it.
I loved it too.
And I hope it's true.
I hope it is true. So basically, they had to Zoom their off-season workouts.
Right.
So instead of recording himself sprinting, he just recorded himself doing a couple sprints and would change his shirt.
Yeah.
Each one. And then would just, share it that day.
So basically, he did one workout.
Yeah.
And just kept changing shirts. So it looked like he did five. Which is
awesome. Obviously, he worked out because you don't get to where you're at.
Did he?
I don't know, Doc.
Because at the beginning of the season, he sure as shit didn't look like he did.
Yeah. So who knows, man? But that was hilarious. So that came out that he said he's just changing shirts.
That's so awesome.
Is there more of a Gronk thing than that?
That is
100% Gronk right there. Oh God, he's funny.
Then the parade-wise, there was an anti-Gronk moment of none of them ended up in the river.
Yeah,
which is
I know.
Weird.
I figured somebody would
Unless it's just something like, hey, we got some algae blooms. Like, for sure, don't go in there.
Yeah, exactly.
Which could be
when he threw the trophy.
Oh my God!
My heart stopped. I went,
and I wonder if that was the one.
Yeah.
Or if it was one of the player trophies. Or just one of Tom's player trophies.
Exactly. So the one thing that I read, because the article came out, that for some reason, I know it's a lot of money, but I feel like it should be more money. It only costs $50,000 to make that.
Yeah. Well, here's my thought too. I started thinking about this of like, obviously it costs $50,000. It's not solid. So even if they dropped it, it's probably gonna float.
Yeah, it might. Yeah,
because it's probably hollow and it's probably sealed.
Exactly.
So if it's got air trapped in it, it's probably gonna float.
Well, yeah. I mean, plus it dents because Gronk dented the last one the Patriots won.
Bunted a baseball with the Lombardi Trophy.
Exactly, and dented it.
That freaking guy. I mean,
gosh,
has anybody had more fun playing football than that guy?
No, not anybody.
And everybody loves. I mean, you got some people like, this is not the fucking game. Those older white guys that.
Yeah, exactly. That
like, back in the 70s when they ran a wing T wishbone offense, you should be able to have forward passes.
Yeah.
Those kind of fucks. But, I mean, how do you not like him?
Exactly. He just has fun. He does what he's supposed to do. He doesn't cause trouble. That's the guy who can have fun and you don't hear him getting a DUI.
Yeah.
You don't hear him doing fucking something stupid. He does stupid shit, but not.
But it's always in fun, stupid
exactly.
shit.
I mean, him being on WWE the one time, it's like fucking hilarious, And
that's one of those of NFL-wise is the line always, be who you can afford to be. Well, he can do all that stupid shit because he's also one of the greatest ever to play tight end position.
Exactly.
So,
yeah.
The second stringer can't do that shit because you get
Did you
cut.
hear the second stringer's comments?
Because
he caught it.
Yeah,
Brady caught it. He goes, if I would have dropped that, I just assumed that I would have had to retire right then and there.
Well, see, and my thought is like my heart a little bit about going in the water, but not even that, of mostly catching somebody in the face.
Yeah.
Because it's not like he threw it was an end over end flipper.
Yeah.
Of like, well, yeah, you're obviously going to go to try to catch the ball because that's the biggest surface area to catch.
Yeah.
But if that other side spins around and whacks you in the face, that's what my thought was like. We're going to see some teeth come out here?
I wanted to be like, who was jumping in to go get it? Yeah.
Gronk
for sure.
Or, well, either that or one of his brothers.
Yeah. He's like, those guys are always crazy as shit.
But that whole thing was awesome. Tom Brady, awesome.
Tom Brady being drunk, I like him more.
The guy having to hold him up to walk. Now, there's a little bit to that.
Uh-huh.
Obviously, he's drunk.
Yes.
But it's one of those ones of like drunk on a boat, getting on land.
Your teeter-tottery legs, sea legs.
You're a little off.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's a little to that, which played up even more. And then the fact of the tweet that he sent out, which obviously he has a team that tweets for him.
Yes, great.
But it was the greatest tweet he could have ever sent.
Yep.
Misspell everything, caps, lowercase, avocado tequila. That great. Couldn't have been any better.
It's awesome.
And that was the other point I'd seen the other day was because did you hear the whole talk about the CEO of DraftKings?
No.
I know we're a FanDuel company here, but DraftKings CEO on Sunday put out a tweet that if he got 100,000 retweets, he would give away $100 voucher on DraftKings.
Wow.
100,000 retweets.
Wow.
I mean, that's like if you get 200, you've done something.
Uh-huh.
If you get 1,000,
you've done something.
Like The Rock.
Yeah. Yeah, might get 50.
Get 10,000.
Exactly. Yeah.
That Tom Brady tweet, which could go down as one of the greatest ever,
got 100,000
retweets of like, who do you think you are, pal?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, It almost got 1,000.
Oh, good.
But then it was like this massive. That's like if you put a YouTube video out and went, hey, if this gets 10 million views, I'm going to give away $10.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, what?
What?
Yeah. You're giving away nothing.
Uh-huh.
And that retweet function's weird. It's the only thing that matters on Twitter. Like the likes don't matter.
With the quote tweets and it's weird.
That's the only way other people see it. But, people are very protective of their retweets of like, I'm not, I don't know why it feels like such a commitment. Like, should I retweet this?
Yeah.
What's it matter? It's going to be gone in 30 seconds. And most of the people that even follow you aren't going to see it because it's probably not going to show up. But man, they hold on to them tight.
They do.
But that was the greatest ever. Like, everything Tom Brady did this week was awesome.
Fantastic.
Awesome. I wonder how many people like started liking him because of that.
He was getting shit on Twitter by older people.
Oh, yeah, the old.
You're a icon and all that. I'm like, he had fucking fun.
Yeah,
the guy eats just healthy shit all year. Does all of this for his body. Does all of this, the TB12 and stuff like that.
Yeah.
He had some fun. He went out and enjoyed himself after he just won his 7th Super Bowl. Get the fuck off his back.
Well, and it's somebody that's like fucking old guy drinking a beer going, oh, he's an icon. He shouldn't be doing this as he's fucking walking in the kitchen and slapping his wife.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, it's those type of guys like, he's supposed to be a role model.
Yeah. I think my favorite tweet, and an old NFL player tweeted, I can't remember who it was. He said, y'all mad at Tom Brady for drinking after he won his 7th Super Bowl when all the excuse you need is a Thursday night. I was like, yes.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Perfect tweet.
It's drinking night.
Yeah, exactly. Perfect.
That was such an awesome thing, too, to do it on the boat and then showing up in a $2 million boat.
Yeah.
Of like, But the bad thing is like, why does that cost $2 million? Because it didn't look all that special.
No, it didn't. It looked.
It's probably really fast.
Yeah.
I assume that.
Probably got one of those jet engines in it.
Maybe it came with. Well, it can't. Why would you buy one that came with a supermodel? He's married to one. I mean,
maybe it was made out of like the flooring is made out of like panda skin or something.
That'd be awesome.
Would be. Sorry, pandas.
Well,
sorry.
Hey, don't have such a nice black and white look.
It's your fault.
You go with everything.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
you match everything.
Yeah. Whoa. We're going to talk about some of these prop bets before we.
Yeah.
We spent a lot of time talking about the Super Bowl, probably more than we should have, because there really wasn't a lot to unpack there. No. The Bucs just dominated everything.
Yeah.
Kansas City's dead. Well, here's the one that I got, because Patrick Mahomes is going to be a failure as a quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
That's just what's going to happen.
He won his Super Bowl. And he may win another one.
And here's why I say that. I don't think he's going to be a failure, but he's going to be a failure because what everybody expects him to be.
Yep.
If he wins 3, say if he plays 15 years, so another 12 years or 10 years, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And win 2 more Super Bowls. So he has 3 in 15 years. Mm-hmm. People are going to say, man, what a shame he really wasted his career.
Yeah, exactly.
There's only 3 other guys that have won more than that. That's more than Peyton Manning. Yeah. That's more than,
it's more than Elway, more than Marino, more than, all these guys.
But it's if he doesn't win, if he doesn't win as many as Tom Brady wins, everybody's like, well, it's a failure. No, he's really good.
Really good, guys. And
maybe he's not as good as everybody thinks they want to say.
Yeah. His talent level is fantastic.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know, man. Sometimes talent doesn't always get you there, and obviously when you play a defense, and I think it's kind of like what the Patriots did to the Rams.
Yeah,
they showed you a formula on how to beat them.
Yeah,
I think that's kind of what the Bucs did too. And I don't think that they get back there for a couple of years. I don't next year. I don't think they. I mean, they'll probably make the playoffs, but I don't think they get back to the Super Bowl next year.
And I knew, and I didn't lead this on because I'd watched a breakdown. I kind of knew that the Bucs were going to give him trouble. I followed Darius Butler. He's the all DB guy, which is awesome because he breaks down film because I don't understand defensive backs. I'm not fleet of foot.
Yeah.
So I never had to study the back end.
Yeah.
But he broke that down. Everybody that's ever given Patrick Mahomes problems, obviously the front 4, if they can't rush, then there's not much you can do.
Yeah.
But 2 deep shells. That's it.
Yep.
Every team that's given him troubles.
Mm-hmm.
Now, obviously, they mix things in, but for the most part, their base defense is
because he likes to chuck it deep. He likes to chuck it deep.
And if you can't do that, then they're screwed. Because then their speed doesn't matter.
And I think, one thing that obviously, when you're used to making those plays, you just continue to do it.
Right.
But, he doesn't take what the defense gives him a lot of times. You know what I mean? He doesn't always hit his check down. You know what I mean? He doesn't always hit the guy that's open. He tries to always go for that big shot. I think once he learns that, a defense is going to play him like that, then he's going to have to obviously, learn and adjust. But
I can't remember what that's called, but it was when I was listening, is when you do something that shouldn't be working, but it always works.
Yeah.
You just assume it will.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't remember what it was. I was listening to an astronaut talk, and they talked about, is it the Challenger?
Okay, yeah.
That blew up?
Yeah.
Because it got hit by a piece of foam. Well, the thing is, that foam has always fell off the rockets as they were leaving.
Yeah.
They just never had it hit the wing before.
Yeah.
When it first started, they tried to fix it, and they couldn't fix it. But it was always crazy dangerous. They just kind of forgot about it because it never happened.
Yeah.
And that's kind of that Kansas City of we always just sling it down the field, and somebody catches it and scores a touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
But what are you going to do when that doesn't happen?
Exactly. Yeah. I thought, I didn't think they tried to make adjustments either. I thought they just said, we're just going to stick with what we do and we'll see if it works.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Kind of one of those ones we've talked about before. If you lost that game due to ego because you were refusing to do anything.
Yeah.
All right. Let's clip these prop bets real quick just because we'll get these out of the way.
Then we can talk about.
I had a bad night. You had a good night. I mean, I won the most important one.
Yeah, you won the final, right? Obviously, you chose the.
I was close to the Tampa score, but nowhere close to Kansas City's.
Yeah.
First play of the game was a run, so I won that.
Yep.
The first score, you won that, Kansas City.
Yeah.
You also won that. We both won of it being a field goal.
Yes.
I called tails. You called heads.
Yeah.
Good win for you.
Thank you.
We both said it would not be a touchback on the kickoff, which it should have been.
Should have been,
dude. 4 yards deep.
Oh, Mickens runs it out.
The fact that guy can kick that ball 4 yards deep is crazy. Score in the first 5 minutes, you said no.
Yeah.
And you were correct. I said yes. But I had Tampa Bay getting the 3, and I had them to score 31. They only scored 29. And you had Kansas City 38-36.
I was close on the Bucks.
I seen somewhere because if you follow FanDuel on Twitter, like they'll tweet out some of the winning bets and stuff that people had. Like somebody put their I don't know how much they put down. It was like $5,000 on Kansas City to not score a touchdown.
Really?
And it paid off some stupid number.
Yeah.
And then I seen McAfee hit that in-game prop. Did you see that? He had a $500 bet on Gronk to score a touchdown.
Yeah.
Gronk to go over 29.5 yards.
Nice.
Antonio Brown to score a touchdown. And Leonard Fournette to score a touchdown. And they all hit before like the third quarter
or something like that. Yeah.
$25,000.
Ooh.
It's like, damn.
Still didn't win back that coin toss money.
30. I think he said he ended up losing $2,000 total. But
not a bad when you're throwing that much money down.
Dude, that might have been the most fun pregame show I've ever watched.
We watched it, yeah.
Marshawn Lynch.
Yeah.
And the story about the guy taking a shit in front of his restaurant. Just like the fact of that had nothing to do with the question that he had been asked. I think he just heard, hey, Marshawn, what's the craziest shit you've ever been dropped to? And he's just said, what's
shit.
Crazy shit? Oh, well, there was shit outside my front door.
Yeah.
That guy, I need him. Like he was doing play-by-play for Fox, but it was on, like, he needs to be, whether it's Barstool or somebody needs to get a hold of that guy and put him online.
I know.
Just, here's a camera.
He's a treasure.
They need to, like an E-style, just follow him around. But it needs to be on, like, Netflix or something where it's just, hey, say whatever, man.
Life and Marshawn Lynch.
Because, remember, wasn't he the one that got caught, like, the door was unlocked, but he walked in to that bakery or whatever when he was and like one of those maple sticks or maple one he the one that
I think so
that?
something like that.
Like the cops go, I just wanted a maple stick.
Yeah.
Like, well, they're closed. Well, the door was open. And when he had that Lamborghini and he brought the velvet ropes,
and kept it there. My favorite one was the interview him talking about the quesadillas, how he says quesadilla. Have you ever seen that one?
I don't think I have.
It's an interview with a CBS, and one of those, it's a lady, she's talking about something, and he spits off something else and then starts going, he said, motherfucking quesadilla or something like that, and like it's dead serious. I mean, just cracks you up.
He is so great.
He is. He is awesome. Just the shit that he says, and like that, I feel like he's not making anything up.
Yeah.
Well,
the fact that a crackhead or meth head or somebody, junkie shit in front of the door of his restaurant. Then he talked to him and got one of them to fess up to it.
Yeah.
And then he gave the guy a job to start cleaning that stuff up. I mean, the whole thing.
Yeah. Just crazy that. Yeah. Oh, God. Funny.
That was great. Then on the other note, just to go back to the Super Bowl stuff, the halftime show was terrible.
Terrible.
I don't like that guy's songs. Not saying that he's a bad singer. I just, that light song or whatever, they play it so much that I cannot handle it anymore.
Yeah.
And if he spent $7 million of his own money on that show, he got ripped off.
He got ripped the fuck off.
So, I mean, I don't feel like I'm out of line saying it was terrible.
No, and I tweeted it out. I was like, I'm tired of singers.
Yeah.
Put a stand-up comedian up there or something.
How awesome would that be?
Be great.
Can I get 17 minutes of Bill Burr?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean.
Yeah, get Bill Burr. I mean, if you want to keep it clean, I would listen to Jim Gaffigan for the whole 20.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I just shit like
Give me
that.
a magician or something.
Something.
Put Penn and Teller up there. I don't care.
What's the dude who smashes the watermelons? You know, put them.
Gallagher.
Put Gallagher.
Or Gallagher, too.
Yeah. Was that Black Gallagher? Wasn't he
No, you don't know that story? It is twin.
Oh.
So you had Gallagher, and Gallagher, he had an identical twin, and when he was wanting to retire, he sold his show to his twin brother.
Nice. And called it Gallagher, too? That's funny.
Yeah. And then, but like most people didn't know that, but then like original Gallagher wanted to come out of retirement, and then like they got, it was a major, like, dude, you sold me the show. He's like, well, it's my show.
Yeah, like, no,
so
it's
there was
not.
kind of a fight of
between brothers, like, who's actually Gallagher.
Well, I think we're all done with smashing watermelons.
Yeah,
but
it's not as funny anymore. Maybe the first time you did
it was awesome when he first came out.
Yeah,
put the puppet guy on there.
Jeff Dunham.
He's funny as shit.
Yeah, I know. Give somebody, just switch it up.
Yeah, I'm tired of. It's a crazy thing, and people say that, but nobody really does. Anybody really just tune in for the halftime show?
I don't know.
I mean, I feel like you could just see that online.
Yeah.
But Dad
of the year.
Yeah. You didn't get to see what I seen, which was the face.
Yeah. He's like,
But could we just have a normal halftime of 12 minutes?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that would be my thing, too.
Yeah, exactly. You don't have to have the star or singer or showmanship or whatever.
Yeah, that's just... Yeah, the halftime show sucked.
It did.
So,
all right, so
everybody knows
let's
that.
move on to the Russell Wilson shit show fiasco that is happening.
Thing.
Yeah.
I happened to be like heading to lunch and kind of caught him on Dan Patrick.
Yeah.
I didn't know about his team sending the tweets out.
Yeah.
Until, later in the day. Like it was designed.
Yeah.
Like they sent the tweets out, and then like 10 minutes later, he was on Dan Patrick to have Dan Patrick ask him that question.
Yeah.
It's like, this is very orchestrated.
Mm-hmm.
I don't disagree with the guy.
No. I mean, if you're the franchise guy, you should have some say. Him coming out and saying that he's tired of being hit. I think we could all kind of imagine that because you're sacked more than anybody in the league.
Yeah. Also not 24 anymore.
Exactly. So quit running around.
So,
yeah. Exactly.
But that's the one of, like, I'm okay with quarterbacks putting pressure on the franchise.
Yeah.
Now, do you get to pick players like they do in the NBA and stuff like that? Absolutely not, because the salary cap's a little different.
Way different.
So, well, I want this guy, and this guy. It's like, well, we have $2 million to work with, and that guy makes $18 a year. So we can't get him.
Pick somebody else.
So all these guys that are your friends, if you've ever noticed, like superstars tend to hang out together. So all your friends can't play here because they're superstars, and we can't afford them.
That. No.
We have a hard cap.
Yeah.
Kind of a hard cap. It's not really a hard cap, but.
No, but I don't disagree with him at all, and it makes total sense in the fact that he should have some say. I mean, it's Russell Wilson, absolutely. For God's sakes. I mean, he's won you a Super Bowl. He's never won an MVP, but he's always
never
top
got
5.
A vote.
He's always top 5, in stats and things like that. I mean, he's a winner. You're not getting anybody better.
Hey, can we since you mentioned MVP, obviously Aaron Rodgers won the MVP and Russell Wilson won the Man of the Year, Walter Payton thing.
Yeah.
How does the MVP only get 1 minute of airtime to give his speech?
Yeah.
Did you see that? Of like, well, they said I only have a minute. I'm like, well, you just won the MVP and they're not even going to let you say thank you to people?
Yeah, I know, it's weird.
But Russell Wilson got like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, all right, well, that's different. And he just slide in that he's engaged. That was weird too.
Yeah.
But, all right.
My fiance.
Yeah. Take that, Danica.
Yeah. Bitch.
Your looks never held up outside the track. You were sports hot.
Yeah.
That's it. No more.
Nope.
But yeah, I just thought that was weird. And I got to ask you this question as far as Russell Wilson saying that. Like, there's no way he's done in Seattle, right?
I don't know.
Like, I don't
see them trading him, but I feel like if I can kind of see him saying, hey, if you're not going to give me any help, trade me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I can see that, or if you're not willing to work with me, then, you know, give me some place I'm willing to work with. And, you know, I as many times as John Snyder likes to move people around, I wouldn't put it off if they get a decent offer for him to pull that trigger.
Well, I mean, they're terrible if he's not there.
Yeah, they're bad.
I don't like him.
I know you don't.
That's very apparent, but
yeah,
they got nothing.
No.
Because their stud wide receivers are only because they're with him.
Yeah. Yep.
Like, I don't know. Like, you take DK Metcalf and put him on Vegas.
Yeah.
Is he stud?
Yeah. Probably not. Probably average.
You know, now you put him in Green Bay, stuff like that, where they have Hall of Famers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But, you know, he's not a Calvin Johnson that plays in Detroit and
can
just
put up those numbers.
Know.
Yeah. I'm with you. They would suck if they got rid of him. But I don't know. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if some team came out and offered him, what Stafford got, 2 firsts.
Well, it'd be more than that.
It would have to be more than, but I'm just saying in that caliber of a ridiculous deal where you would be stupid to turn it down, I think you'd have to pull the trigger on it.
Yeah, because I know they, obviously they fired their offensive coordinator and he wanted some say-so in the new hiring. Because, again, he wants somebody kind of like a McVay, which everybody wants. I don't understand why, but if you fucking got into a fender bender with him, you're coaching the NFL. I mean, I don't. It's weird.
It's weird. Super weird.
The thing is the guy they fired was all about Russell Wilson throwing the ball everywhere.
Yeah.
I think Pete Carroll said that. He said we had a difference in opinion on how the offense should run. Pete Carroll's defensive coach, he wants to run the goddamn football.
Exactly.
They were most successful when they had Marshawn Lynch.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I think he kind of wants to get back to that.
Yeah. And I think, who knows? They have to get that if they want to keep Russell healthy for the next 5 years.
But that's the thing. Does Russell want that? Hey, are you okay throwing the ball 22 times a game?
Yeah, exactly.
'Cause I don't think he is.
Yeah, I think he wants protected. I don't think he cares to throw the ball 30 times a game.
I think he does. I think he's fake.
I
think he wants that MVP.
Yeah.
And you don't win MVPs throwing the ball 25 times, hand the ball off. It's one of those weird things I think is he wants to be the everything. But to win, you kind of have to, hand the ball off.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion. No. I don't like the guy.
I know.
So.
It makes total sense. And, I can kind of see where people think where you think he's fake because he does, put up a show if that's what you want to call.
Fake stuff that he does.
But I think, like I said, I would not be shocked if he's traded, but I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah, I don't either because I don't know how you could do that.
I have no clue.
I mean, you could do that like if he had pissed off your owner, if Russell Wilson went in through a fit and kind of like the ultimatum, like, hey, get this fucker out of here.
Exactly. It doesn't seem like Schneider puts up a whole lot of shit anyway.
So if that happened, okay, of like, hey, can we get him out of here and let's send him to
exactly.
Where can we send him?
Exactly. Let's send him somewhere shitty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard on the way over too, and it made me think of would he work, saying that he wants something like that McVay kind of.
Yeah.
I started thinking about him playing for LA. Would he even work in that offense?
I don't think so.
I don't think it's because it's very heavy. We're going to run the ball first, and then we run play action off of it.
I don't think that would work for him. I think he likes the attention and things like that.
Yeah.
I think he likes everybody knows Russell Wilson is making that scramble, throw it down.
Let Russ cook.
Yeah, exactly. I think he likes that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can see. So I read somewhere where it was a Cowboys beat writer said that they would offer a trade for Russell Wilson.
Well, yeah.
I mean, but who knows what that entails? Who knows what all that is?
There's a rag right there, man. I mean,
it's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, I see that when I heard them say that he wanted that kind of offense. It's like, I don't even see you working in that offense. No. I mean, because like when he runs play action, it's like, hey, here's a fake handoff and let me run around for 8 seconds.
Exactly. Let me scramble all the way to the other side of the field.
I guess my thing is like, how many times have we seen him throwing on time, like on time of like, hey, here's 5 steps and a hitch, ball's out. It's like most of the times they ever gain yards, it's because he runs away and slings it down the field. Now, I think he would work better in like a Bruce Arians offense.
I do too.
Yeah, we're going to run off play action, but I want you to throw the ball 30 yards down the field. And that's kind of what he's good at.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a wonderful deep ball. I mean, he could fuck that thing, put that in a bucket. You know, I mean, it's good stuff. I just, like I said, you know, I wouldn't be shocked if he was traded. Like, I wouldn't be like, oh my God, seriously? But I just don't think it's going to happen.
I don't either, unless Pete Carroll's quitting. Well, I think if he got traded, I think Pete Carroll would quit.
I think you'd have to fire. I think you would have
to fire everybody.
Yeah, because you would obviously want somebody new in there and not who's, no offense to Pete, but he's fucking 80, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Still got a lot of energy.
Yeah.
But, I heard on my way over here, Doug Gottlieb, who's kind of a stooge, is filling in for Dan Patrick, and they were talking about quarterbacks of who would go where. They talking about Garoppolo because he's going to be cut. I mean, but they didn't understand why he was going to be cut. It's like, why would you cut him? It's like, well, because you can cut him for $2 million and pay him $25 million. He's not worth $25 million.
No, he's not that quarterback anymore.
If he would re-sign for $12 million, I guarantee you he would be the starting quarterback in San Francisco next year.
Yeah.
Not gonna do it because he can get 25 somewhere. And they said, well, they're going to cut him because they don't trust him. Like, all right, well, if you want to say he's injury prone, all for it. Maybe he is. He said, well, they've showed that they don't trust him given the fact that he only threw the ball 8 times in the NFC Championship games. Like, no, I feel like you forget that they ran for 350 yards.
Yeah, they didn't have to throw the ball.
And I think when those basketball guys start talking football, like, you realize that passing the ball, like if you don't have to,
you shouldn't.
No coaches do.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I mean, Kansas City does.
Yes.
But of like, oh, you mean like we can just run this and get 8 yards every time we do it? Yeah, we're going to do
Probably
that.
going to do that.
Probably not going to turn it over.
Yeah.
But it just, and I don't like Doug Gottlieb either. It's a show of who Randy doesn't like.
We talked about Russell. We've talked about Doug Gottlieb. Yeah.
And head to the other guy, the guy that's making all the news.
Go ahead.
Jack Easterby.
Yeah.
I seen they hired somebody else. That's another one of his disciples.
Yeah.
To be basically the team pastor. Whatever they call it, player conduct or whatever.
Something like that. Yeah.
And that was one of his guys.
Yeah. Are you still? I know you hate him and you can keep talking, but go ahead. I'll ask you the question.
What's your question?
I mean, with all of this shit that's still going on, are you still sure that Deshaun Watson isn't traded? Like, are you still on that train?
Still on that train.
Okay.
I'm not saying it won't happen.
I know. You just think you don't think it happens.
Because at some point in time, I just don't, there's no reason. They don't need to trade him.
Yeah.
Because if the man of God can put a couple pieces in place, maybe Deshaun's happy already.
Yeah.
But, you never know. I still don't think they will. But, because what do picks get you? I mean, really nothing.
Not anymore, no.
I mean, so it's just one of those things. I don't believe he will be, because you basically, if you trade him, you've put your franchise back 12 years. That's just the way it is.
Yeah.
But maybe he does talk to Jesus, and Jesus tells him who to draft, and they'll have the good team.
Yeah.
So you never know.
Yeah, you never know. I did see where Deshaun actually came out and gave his preferred list of teams that he would be willing to waive his no trade clause to.
I assume the Jets were on that.
No, they were not on that list.
Jets weren't on that list?
They were not on that.
Because everybody made a big deal of that.
There were 2 teams on that list that stood out, and one was the Niners and one was the Broncos, that he came out and said that he would be willing to waive his no trade clause for. So obviously, My wiener wiggled a little bit.
I bet you got really excited.
I did. I had to pull over and make sure that I was good to go in my pants area. But yeah, it said the Niners and the Broncos top Watson's list of preferred teams. The Jets were not on that list.
Yeah. And I wonder, who put that list out? Obviously, it's his agent, exactly. I would imagine. But, see, this goes back onto my side of why they wouldn't trade him. Of hey, if you want out of here, you're sure as fuck not telling me who I can trade you to.
Yeah.
Well, I have a no trade clause. All right. I also don't have to trade you.
Mm-hmm.
So, the fact I would be upset if I was you, again, not saying that it wouldn't happen, but I can't imagine a scenario now that if he said this is where he wants to go, that there's any chance that they're going to trade him to one of those two teams.
Yeah, I know it. But, if you look at it from, let's just say that they do decide to trade him, put that scenario in there, they wouldn't have to face him if you trade him to one of those two teams. And I think Miami was the third team on there that he was willing to go to. But I think... I
would struggle to see him in the AFC.
I would too.
When somebody trades like that,
I would too, but I think when somebody trades like that, when somebody trades a guy like Deshaun Watson, you're wanting to rebuild.
Yeah.
So I don't think they would worry about, we'd have to see him in the playoffs, because you're not making the playoffs if you trade a guy like Deshaun Watson away. So I wouldn't be that big of a thing. I just don't.
Yeah.
I wouldn't see if it. Maybe the Niners more than the Broncos, just because it is the NFC. But I wouldn't be shocked if it was the Broncos.
Yeah. Well, I would be. You'd be happy, though. You'd be happy. And it makes sense if something like that happened when they finally got Elway ran out of town.
Yeah. He could do something like that.
He fired himself and gave himself a promotion at the same time.
Hey, man.
Which is actually just a consultant. That's all he is. It's like, hey, could you please just get out of the building?
Yeah.
Is what was asked of him.
Yeah. Can you not make decisions
good.
anymore?
You were good enough to have Peyton Manning come here.
Yeah.
But other than that, you were trash.
You cannot draft a quarterback to save your ass.
You were good at it. You were good at your position. That doesn't mean, which is another thing when people, now that, because everybody says, hey, is Peyton Manning wouldn't get coach, be it a general manager or something like that. How do you know he'd be any good?
Yeah.
Not, he's not the perfect example because he's so gung-ho
yes.
on football. But yeah, how do you, what makes you think just because you played the game that you'd be any good at that portion of it?
Yeah.
I mean,
it's crazy because I think Peyton would be a better GM than he would be a coach. And I don't know. You know what
absolutely.
I mean? I think he would be a better front office guy. One, he's already got the personality to do it. He's already got the look. He knows how to, you know what I mean? He's not an asshole. He handles himself well. He knows everybody. He knows the ins and outs. He's gone through a change of places. You know what I mean? Like, he's been through that situation. So I feel like he would be a better GM front office guy than an actual coach.
Well, I think as a coach, his players would hate him. They wouldn't. I don't think they'd play for him.
No, you're not wrong, because I think he would be better in college.
I think he would be. Yeah, he's more of a, like when we talked about the Urban Meyer.
Yeah, like he's going to put the fucking foot down.
There's another one. Why the fuck did he do that?
I don't know. Let's hire the guy who got fired for racist remarks. Yeah.
No, I did my research on him. He seems fine.
Yeah, I trust him.
Hey, dude.
How many players in Jacksonville wanted out after the owner's son made comments about racial
Well, and here's the other thing is, like, he's not, you didn't even hire that. You hired this guy as a low level, because Schlegel was hired to be your fitness guy. And this guy's hired to be, I don't know, his assistant?
Something, yeah.
Of like, what? Well, this guy's maybe is a racist. Let's go ahead and hire him, because any publicity's good publicity.
Yeah, no shit.
I mean, I didn't, like, he's just made some weird stuff, and he's hiring a bunch of guys from college.
He is, and I think that's his biggest mistake so far, and he hasn't coached a game. It's different.
Yeah.
It's different. Now, I could agree with him hiring college guys to coach positions.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. But when you start asking college guys to come in and call plays, defensive things, that's not a good thing, because it's a different level of football.
Yeah.
No matter what. No matter how good you were at college doing that, it's a different level of football. You saw it. You had many examples. Nick Saban is a huge example. He was terrible in the pros as a head coach. Now, Cleveland as a defensive coordinator. We didn't really know he wasn't there that long.
Yeah.
But terrible as a head coach. Is absolutely the greatest coach ever in college.
Can we?
Harbaugh. Now, I know he hasn't had success
anytime
in
we talk
Michigan,
Nick Saban in the NFL, I like to mention of like, because people at Alabama, like how lucky they are of one, if Miami doesn't fail Drew Brees, he gets him and probably doesn't come to Alabama. It's a different thing. You have a quarterback. Secondly, in that same time frame, Rich Rodriguez turned down the Alabama job.
Uh-huh.
So you'd at least gave him 2 years, which meant Nick Saban would have never. No. He would have been somewhere else. He would
have went back to probably LSU,
Auburn, or something. Yeah. Of like, that's such. I mean, like Alabama's not Alabama if those two things don't happen.
Yeah.
Continue.
But I mean, it's like Sarkisian. It's terrible calling plays for the Falcons. Terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible at it.
Yeah.
I mean, you had some of the best weapons in the NFL on that team. I mean, Matty Ice was still good enough to sling it.
Yeah.
Julio, and you had Calvin Ridley. I know you had, the two running backs that he had. I mean, he had a nice offense, and you couldn't put points up on the board with those guys. Goes to college and just rewrites the whole script on how to call plays. I mean, just did a fantastic job these last 3 years with Alabama. So the college to pro different. It's just completely different. Don't hire the college guys to come do
especially the ones with
plays.
baggage.
Yeah, exactly.
Why would you do that? Especially like an assistant strength coach or whatever the hell the guy is. Like,
you mean the guy who's going to be around your players the most?
Yeah. But also the guy that nobody. When he hired Schlegel, we know who he is because we're from Ohio.
Uh-huh.
Nobody else would know any other guy's name unless it was that particular guy.
Yep.
That there was a massive story and he ended up having to leave the program. I mean,
yep.
All right,
Yeah.
Maybe
Don't
not.
do that.
That brings up of like, well, we vetted him of like, well, now that brings up your quarterback coach or your wide receiver, whatever his name was, of like, that was maybe beating his wife or whatever. Like, Coach, stop talking.
He goes, I can vouch for him. Like, ooh.
Yeah.
You were suspended a couple games for vouching for somebody else.
Maybe just stop talking. Let some other people handle that.
Yeah, no shit.
That's like Nick Saban's job to redo these coaches and send them back out in the world.
Yeah,
Maybe don't do that at the NFL level.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'd be interested in that. But flip back to the Texans thing with their team president of 22 years quitting.
Yes.
That was fantastic of the fact of he was on the hiring committee, obviously, team president.
Yeah.
Putting together a list of people they wanted for GM.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, I assume
none of the guys he put on the list.
Basically, everybody on like McNair wiped his ass with their list,
pretty much,
and went with the Easterby's guy.
Yeah,
and the fact that he resigned after 22 years immediately, and then it comes out that he wanted to resign soon as they hired that GM because basically, if I'm the team president, you didn't even listen to me.
Yep,
and they asked him not to so it wouldn't look bad.
Yeah,
I mean,
I see why Deshaun wants out.
I understand.
I understand completely because it seems like it's a fucking dumpster fire right now. And I know we talked about it probably a month ago now, but when Andre Johnson comes out and tells you to leave.
The guy who says nothing about anybody.
Yeah. Nothing about anybody.
Hadn't sent a tweet out in 2 years.
Yes. Was the Texans' name for the longest time. Says leave. That's not a good sign. You should probably fucking leave.
Yeah.
Well,
I think he's found that out now.
Yeah.
But I still go back to this of like, Deshaun keeps saying stuff, man. Like, I'll keep you here out of spite.
Yeah. But Deshaun hasn't said much. You know what I mean? He hasn't. But the only thing and his tweet after they hired him was never directed. You know what I mean? Like, he's played it okay because he never tagged anybody. He never specifically called anybody out.
Well, my guess is that they took the team president and had him in contact with Deshaun putting this stuff together.
Yeah.
And that's kind of probably where that came from of like, all right, well, see, we tried, but we already had this guy.
Yeah.
The fact that they wanted to hire the guy a year ago, but New England blocked it. Of like, when they hire that, if that tells you like, hey, man, we weren't even, I don't think it's they didn't ask Deshaun's opinion. I think it's that they just didn't listen.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
Which maybe he got a little butthurt over if that's the case.
Yeah.
Of, hey, I put together my list. I didn't hire anybody from my list, so I quit.
Yep.
Well, maybe your list sucked.
Exactly. I mean, I get it. I get where he's coming from. You signed a massive deal.
Yeah.
You know, your head coach gets fired halfway through the season. You want some say because obviously you're going to be there a while. And when they don't, when you're that caliber of a guy and they don't even like take into consideration, like even if they would have been like, okay, thanks, we'll consider it. It just seemed like they did the same thing with the president. They just balled it up, threw it away.
Yeah.
You know, they didn't fucking look at it. If you show the guy some grace, some, you know, humility with what he just gave you, I think he's okay.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, you know, Deshaun, we did. If you even just fucking interview the guys, you could have it in the back of your mind that you already know who you're going to hire, but interview the guys that he asked for because it's just going to make the guy happy, you know?
Well, I think it made it worse, too, because Bieniemy.
Yeah.
The fact that they finished their coaching hires, Deshaun got pissed because that's the guy that was on his list, and then they interview him. Like, well, I mean, for sure, you're just
doing
like
it
you're trying to
save face.
That just made it worse.
Exactly.
The fact, like, you should have just let me be pissed off and still not interviewed him. The fact that you interviewed him after I said I was pissed, makes it worse.
Uh-huh.
But it's an interesting thing to think about, and I heard this topic of conversation over the last couple of days because, I mean, it's an everyday occurrence with the Texans.
Yeah.
It's a fucking cult. That guy looks like a cult leader.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
A shaved head and a smile where he shows both rows of teeth up and down. Of like, who the fuck smiles like that? He looks like, do you have HBO? Remember that Heaven's Gate?
Yeah.
Like you see the artwork for
that
documentary?
Yeah, it's that guy.
Like he looks like that guy.
Yeah, that's weird.
But so this brings up with just the shit show going on. I know you hate him, but was it Billy O's fault? I mean, you can kind of start taking a look at going, hey, maybe this wasn't all on him.
Yeah, I mean,
now, granted, the play calling and stuff like that, that's on the field shit.
Exactly.
But as far as being the general manager and the guy that negotiates contracts, I can't remember what that's called in the NFL. But maybe that's just like, they keep firing people.
You know, I didn't like him calling plays. I thought he was
bad
an idiot.
At that,
I thought he was bad at that. You know, the GM thing, when you're the head coach and your owner comes up to you and says, hey, we want you to be the GM, we want you to be in control of your players, you're not going to turn that down.
Yeah.
You're not going to turn that down. But you also, in that instance, you have to be able to, it puts you at two different people. I mean, you got to wear two different hats when you're doing that. And I feel like he was letting the things happen as a head coach dictate what he was doing as the GM, and I don't think you can do that.
Plus also the contract negotiator.
Exactly.
Because I don't think a lot of people know that the GM does not negotiate contracts. It's not his job. Like, he looks to see what they fit. There's a guy that negotiates. He kind of dictates to them, this is the amount of money we can pay. You know, if you can get them cheaper, but we can't go over this. And then you have a guy that works the contract.
Yeah, and so I think when he was letting those two jobs intertwine with each other, I think that's when he lost it. Yeah. You know, and you have to be able to keep, I'm just, obviously the DeAndre Hopkins thing is his biggest thing that he's fucked up.
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Is it came out that they were told that, because DeAndre, they didn't want his kids around. Did that come from? Yeah,
did it come from Billy O or did it come from the top?
And then it also came out that I don't know if I just fucking heard this somewhere and it's not true, saying something about like, he wasn't a godly man. Well, Easterby's a fucking preacher. Yeah. If that came out, you know, you don't know. And like the whole J.J. Watt thing, like did Billy O instigate that fight so he could get fired? Exactly. He's like, you know, hey man, can you do me like, I know you're gonna get cut at the end of this. Can you do me a favor and just pick a fight in front of everybody? So maybe they'll shit can me. Yeah. I can go to Alabama. Yeah. Redo my name, go get a new job.
You know, it's tough because we don't know. Now it actually makes more sense now we see all this other shit coming out.
That I don't think it was all him.
No, I don't think it was all him. It just made it seem like it because they were just willing for him to take the blame for it. Yeah. You know?
And I give him a pass on the play calling because it seems like every coach from college makes that mistake, and a lot of NFL coaches make that mistake of
can't do both.
You want to be an offensive coordinator that has head coach title. Just be a coordinator. If you want to be a head coach, be a fucking head coach. And head coaches in the league don't call fucking plays.
Nope.
I mean, that's just the way it is. So,
Yeah.
I just need, like, somebody's got to write a massive. I know the Sports Illustrated piece is already out about the shit show that it is. But once this is all said and done, I need like an in-depth documentary
of this.
One, how does a guy go from being a team chaplain to fucking basically running the team is what it seems like. I mean, it has all the makings of a cult.
For sure it does.
And maybe they get Deshaun to join. Like, if I was Deshaun, if you know, they don't trade him. If they don't trade you before the season, chances are they're not going to. You sitting out and getting fined every day isn't going to do anything, so you're probably just going to show up and play. If he's got to come and play, would you not just show up in like one of them white robes?
Oh, yeah.
And like, I believe in everything the Texans say. Just act like it's
buy into
There's
it.
a spaceship behind the moon.
Yeah.
And if we wear Nikes and we put a sheet over it,
then it'll all be okay.
It'll take us to Heaven's Gate.
I don't know, man. I want, for the sake of Deshaun Watson, I want him to leave. I don't care where he goes.
Yeah.
You know, guys like that don't need to be in that situation.
Yeah.
And for sure, you're in fucking Texas. Stand up for your fucking self. God damn, you know?
Well,
quit letting other people.
That's my biggest thing. Hey, if this is truly what you want, flip your phone around and record yourself and put it out there.
Mm-hmm.
I hate, because you don't know.
Yeah.
Because technically, we still don't know if Deshaun Watson even asked for a trade.
We do know that. He did come out and say that
he
wanted.
Come out and say that?
Yes. He came out and he formally requested the trade to the Texans. Yes.
Because, I mean, the other shit you don't know because it's like agents or it's like the team put the
exactly.
It's all just weird shit.
Yeah,
and even like when that Russell Wilson's team
tweets that
out, and he still jumped around the question from Dan Patrick, and then Dan basically that was great on him. He asked the question. Russell Wilson gives like a long fucking answer that said nothing. Yep. And then Dan goes, well, you got around that and didn't even answer the question. So, do you want... it's like, yeah. So, I mean, until they actually... But if you want out, come out and say you want out.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's that easy.
Get the paperwork to retire.
Yeah. And then
code it up. Hey, all I got to do is fucking sign and file.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the passive aggressiveness.
Yeah.
Especially of these macho sport kind of.
Yeah.
I want to do what I tell. You know, I do what I say, and it's like, well, then come out and say it then.
Exactly.
Because if you're just going to have your agent say it,
there's no
feel like nobody takes that seriously.
Yeah. You know, and I'll go back to it. I still think he's traded. I really do, because I think if I'm just putting myself in the new guy's situation, I don't want the guy, my franchise, not wanting to be here. You know what I mean? I'm going to try to bring somebody in, and I know you're not getting anything, but it seems like they love this guy and they're not going to get rid of him anytime soon. So I think that he's okay.
Yeah, that's just a weird thing.
Yeah.
And that's another one, Casario. He might not even have any say so.
Yeah, he might not. This Easterby
might.
Yeah.
There's some clips from when he was given, I don't know what they call it, the pastor in front of the church when they talk. Trying to be funny, almost like he's doing stand-up, talking about Jesus.
Oh, good. That's what you need.
It's not. It's creepy. It's like talking about when Jesus walked on water, and he's like, do you think he did like a crip walk? And he's like trying to strut of like, hey, no.
Hey, no. I think he just walked on water.
Like, I feel like there's people that could do that. Talk. I don't know what that's called. Preaching.
Yeah.
Like that are just, electrifying personality. People that I've seen,
Yeah.
Well, the one guy down there that owns a stadium that does it, he's pretty electrifying.
Who's that?
Is it Olstein that Joe?
Oh, yeah. The crook?
Yeah.
Yeah, who steals everybody's money?
Yeah. But you got to say.
Yeah, he
puts on a show.
He does.
So, I mean, it just, Easterby is just like, it's all this creepy kind of, and he needs to get out and have somebody start talking.
Yeah.
He needs to, because a lot of shit's going on.
Uh-huh.
Like, he needs to come out and say, yeah, none of this is true.
Uh-huh.
I'm, whatever, doing this. The fact that him and McNair remain quiet.
Yeah.
This is let us pray.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, just, like, somebody needs to say something.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like he'll be traded still.
Mm-hmm.
Like
I said, I
think
think
it's out of spite at this point in time.
Yeah,
I think it's just out of spite.
It might be. Yeah.
Hey, we're already going to suck ass.
Yeah.
We won 4 fucking games with your ass.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
We don't need you to play.
Uh-huh.
We can get that many done. I mean, technically, you owe us money back now.
Yeah.
That's what they're looking to do. If they can make him retire and then he has to write a fucking check back like Detroit makes their superstars do.
Yeah, exactly. Man, we could get some money back from this guy. Yeah.
They should have had a big lottery sized check.
Yeah.
For when Megatron was going inducted into the Hall of Fame, like Detroit should have came out and said, "Here's your however many $1 million we made you pay it back." So,
Yeah. Sorry.
Then how pissed are you if you're Barry Sanders and him of like Matthew Stafford got out of town?
Exactly. Yeah. Because you got a guy in there that, has a set of balls.
Motor City Dan.
Mm-hmm.
Should be a good
time. Put a nice staff together.
Yeah, he did.
You see that? Yeah. Somebody tweeted, I wouldn't want to play Dan Campbell's staff in 7-on-7 because they're all ex-NFL players.
Eating kneecaps.
Yeah, eating kneecaps.
They're going to be an electrifying 2-14.
They are. I mean, they're going to be exciting. I mean, his interviews are going to be fun afterwards.
I just can't wait till they come, like week 1, they come out and get their asses stomped for that press conference. Well, play like fucking shit today.
Yeah, exactly. These guys play like a bunch of pussies, and I coach like a pussy.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay.
Right.
Well.
Love you, coach.
Yeah. I don't have any other questions.
That is still the great. They pointed out, like, from his opening press conference when the fucking guy came in and goes, all right, after an hour or whatever it's been, he's like, all right, we got time for like 5 more questions. I'm like, I've been up here for an hour. How about just one more?
Yeah.
Yeah, that should be an interesting thing.
Yeah. Now
hopefully this shit keeps going, so we have stuff to talk about. We don't have to talk about other sports that nobody cares about. Unless something happens, which it won't.
It won't. I mean, I'm excited now because we're a month and a half away from draft. We're less than a month away from free agency. We got some stuff to talk about.
Yeah. Well, then I don't want to talk about like the shit people are talking about because LeBron James coming out of saying, what's he got to do to be considered better than Tom Brady? Of like, 1, you play different sports. 2, you're not even the best in your own fucking sport as far as all-time status goes.
Oh, yeah.
Of like, so what makes you think you can catch Tom? You've won 4.
Win 3 more and you probably be up there.
3 more, you'll be talked about.
Yeah.
But you also kind of have super teams in the NBA.
Uh-huh.
So nobody gives a shit. Nobody takes your championship seriously anymore.
No.
Which is kind of a weird thing to say.
Yeah.
That's just the way basketball's gotten.
They just assume that they're going to win because they have the best players.
Yeah, these guys get their buddies together of like, hey, well, there's 3 teams that can win.
Yep.
And we'll see who does it.
Yep.
Got to give a shout out to my brother who won the Super Bowl.
Won the Super Bowl.
I could not chase him down.
Yeah, I saw it. I saw the last couple
it was
ones.
just like 5-6 points behind him the whole day because we had
roughly the same people, right?
Yeah, well, he had Brady, and I don't know if he had Brady as MVP. I think he did.
I think he did.
See, I had both. I had both quarterbacks.
Yeah,
but I had in that lineup, I had Mahomes as my MVP and Brady below. So if that would have been flipped, I'd have had a chance.
Yeah,
and we both, because me and him talked about this a couple weeks ago. I think it was after the championship games. Because I think he'd had Gronk, and he's like, I got to stop picking Gronk.
Yeah.
Well, then he picked him again, but I picked him.
Okay, yeah.
So it was like, and he scores 2 touchdowns. So when he gets a second touchdown, I flip it on to look, and I seen that Sean was ahead of me. And then I flipped on him like, damn it, he picked Gronk again too.
Yeah.
My biggest problem, because Mahomes still got me like 18, 19 points.
Yeah.
But I had Hardman. He had 1 point.
Yeah.
Of like, fuck.
Yeah.
Because, that was just the money I had. I mean.
It was, I shit the bed in our league, but I did well in the big standings.
Did you?
I did well. I think I put 3 in the big one.
I did too.
I put 3 in the big one, so I paid out, I don't know. Is that about $14, I think, like that. We were around there. And I won 45 with my 3. Yeah, so I mean, with my 3 ones, I won 45. I was
won
like
7.
Oh.
Actually, 704.
Oh, 704?
Because in one of them, I must have finished in last place, and it was like 4 cents.
It's nice.
Like,
yeah, I won 45, but I had one where I had both quarterbacks.
Yeah.
You know, I tried to mix it up.
Yeah.
You know, I tried to put different ones out, and all of them had money.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like one was like 15, one was, I think one was 18, one was like 8, and I think I did 4. Maybe I did do 4. I think I had 4 that won money, but yeah.
I think to do it, you kind of had to have Tom Brady at the MVP.
Yeah.
You had to have Gronk.
Uh-huh.
Basically, you had to have everybody that scored a touchdown.
Yeah, and I had Fournette was a big one too because he had a lot of rushing yards too to go along with his touchdown.
Because outside of that,
there wasn't a whole lot of people.
Kelsey had a stat line, but he didn't have a touchdown.
I actually, in one of them that I won money, and I had Buckner because he kicked 3 field goals.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was like one of my money. I was like, you know what? Okay.
I had, because I thought about that because that's a cheeky good move to pick a field goal kicker.
Uh-huh.
I got to a point where they were too fucking expensive that I had to get I'd get Brait or somebody that's in that 5,000. It's like, why is a kicker $8,000?
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
motherfucker.
Even at that, he scored 9 points. So that's not that great.
No.
Yeah, that's and I can't wait till next year starts. That's so much fun.
I know it is.
I'm not good at it, but it's fun.
It's fun. It's fun as shit. Yeah.
I think on the overall, I think George won, didn't he?
I think he did too.
Points wise, I think I might have finished second.
Yeah, probably.
I went on a
bin there that was up. You were in the top 3 about every week.
Yeah. Well, at the beginning of the season, I won more than anything, but second half of the season, I was always in like second.
Yeah,
it's just like I couldn't. Yeah. George went on a run where he won like 3 weeks in a row.
Yeah, that helps.
And then that was just
And
then one of your buddies won.
Yep.
A week.
The one a week. I think he won the championship weekend.
The other one finished last almost all the
time. Every time he put one in, he texted me like, I'm getting last. I'm like, what? It's your choice. Yeah, fix it.
It doesn't kick off for another hour or so.
So my one buddy who likes to do it, who won the 1 week, did not know you could edit once you submitted.
Oh, no.
Didn't know. I was like, I can take my guy out. He was like, what do you mean? He goes, you can edit it? I was like, yeah.
You
just click edit. He was like, he's like, I didn't even see it. I was like, you can cancel it too. I was like, if you just want to clear it all out and retry, you can do that too. He's like, oh fuck, I had no idea.
It's up to like 10 minutes before the game, or
because I think the 1 week he's like, yeah, one of the guys got hurt right before the game, and I couldn't pull him out. I'm like, you didn't try to replace him with anybody? He's like, no, I couldn't. I submitted it already. I was like, it's just like ESPN fantasy football. Yeah, you're allowed to adjust your lineup. Yeah. I was like, you just can't. I said, but once the 1 o'clock game starts, you can't adjust anything else. You have to, keep that whole lineup.
And I'm the opposite. Like him texting you saying that it's just going to be a bad team.
Yeah.
I'm I know that it's not going to do well, but I assume I'm winning everything. Like I assume I'm winning $1 million every time.
Yeah.
Like whatever the 3 that I put into the big one of like I
top 3.
I assumed I was going to finish first, second, third.
Optimism. I like it.
But that's I don't know why that's my thought process. Like I just assume that that's going to happen.
Well, I put in for like the Mega Millions like last month or something like that, and I was like, well, yeah, I'm going to win.
I started spending the money.
Yeah, it's like in my head I kept thinking like, man, I can do this and that and this and that, and then I didn't win obviously because
like I already assume like 47 million people will download this episode of this podcast like later today. Like, oh, that was a good one.
Yeah, exactly.
Then you get a phone call from somebody say, hey, we want to sponsor on that. Here's 10 million.
Mm-hmm.
That just hadn't happened.
Not happened yet. No.
But I feel like that's the fans' faults.
Yep, it is.
For, not pushing it enough.
Come on, guys.
It's up to you guys. We can only put out this hot fire content.
Yeah.
You guys got to push it. If we're the higher, we're the kingpins, and you guys are the corner pushers.
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead and do it.
You guys push the show to the public, then the money comes into the kingpins. And then we'll start giving away like some T-shirts and stuff to you guys for pushing.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
maybe like 100,000 retweets. You get a T-shirt.
Yeah, maybe.
Way to tie that back around into a previous conversation. All right. So on that note, probably about done with this thing.
Yeah.
Feel free to tell your friends about this show if you have them. If you don't, just yell at some
yell at some people
in the
listen to
streets.
it.
Just
Come on, guys, help us out.
Roll the window down, yell Wideside.
Yep.
Till somebody asks,
what are you talking about? Yeah. Are you calling me a name?
It's a compliment.
Yeah, exactly.
Always complimenting people.
Mm-hmm. Oh, God. Can't compliment
You want to go on that topic? All right, let's get out of here.
Wideside.